Do we really understand the power of our thoughts, words, and actions? Man, if we really understood that, we'd really understand who God created us to be because we're creating likeness and image. Hey, I'm Dr. Fred, and I was divinely given the six-step system of heal. That's honor God within yourself. We're creating likeness and image. Release the pain of your past. Come into presence. Establish purpose, mission and deliver it to the world. Hey, Mark Twain said, two greatest days of your life, the day you're born and the day you figure out why. What if we all come in with a purpose that is predestined? So Psalm 139:16. You saw my days when they were unformed. What's that mean? Imagine if we really are spiritual beings. Imagine if we're watching a movie trailer of our life and we're like, put me in, coach. I want to go in there. But guess what? Your personality would never choose what your soul chose. I can't tell you how many times that verse and that statement and that mantra, if you want to call it philosophy, helped me get through so many challenges, man, because I would not choose this. No, thank you. I don't want it. But what are we learning from it? How is our soul evolving? How does this relate to our purpose? What gift are we getting? So I make these videos because I run into verses and spiritual principles and things that I end up teaching through the evolution. Hey, when your number one core value is to spiritually evolve and figure out who God created you to be and climb that staircase to heaven, man. Thank you, Led Zeppelin. Stairway to heaven, so we can possibly attain a Christ consciousness. Why? Because Jesus said, if you believe me in me, and I also believe that means like me, you can do all these things and greater, right? So he came to show us who we are, not just who he is, what religion says, but he said you can do all these things and greater, right? God is in the temple and the temple is in us. So now let's go back to Genesis where God was in the void. He created heaven and earth. The universe was created. Like people use, well, I don't say God, I say the universe. Well, on a quantum level, it is an intelligent universe, but if God was there before the universe was created, what about this belief system? What if the quantum intelligent universe was created as our metaphorical sandbox? What if we are life force energy? What if we really are eternal, which means we were there? If God is as the Alpha and the Omega, and we are eternal like Him, were we there when heaven and earth were created? Then that means the universe was created for us to create the desires of our hearts. Psalm 37:4, I believe, right? Delight in the Lord. What's that mean? Stay connected, be in your spirit, have Christ's love, radiate joy, realize that we're created in love. And when we're in that state and we have a thought is energy. Our brain is electric, our heart is magnetic. We are an electromagnetic force that we radiate, and that magnetism takes photons, takes things that don't exist with a visible eye, and can affect them. So when they went through quantum physics, they shot photons through a vacuum tube, and then they imparted a thought, the particle changed. What if the whole universe was created because when we have a thought and we radiate that electric energy, and then we have an emotion associated with that thought, now we have an electromagnetic force that creates matter, and then we speak. God spoke, and the universe was created, and heaven and earth were created. So, sound is a vibrational frequency. Sound creates matter. Words create matter. So, first we have the thought. Then we have an emotion, a feeling about thought. We radiate electromagnetic force. Then our words speak into existence whatever we think, whatever we feel, and then we take action. So, if we go to Isaiah 48:3, I have declared the former things from the beginning. That's when God was in the void. In the beginning, it was already declared. It was declared. It was commanded. It was thought. It was already intended, right? Then they went from my mouth and I caused them to hear it. Now there's communication. There's communication that creates the universe, that brings things into existence. Suddenly I did them and they came to pass. Man, action is the most dense energy. So imagine, and our imagination is much more powerful than knowledge, right? That's all. Albert Einstein imagination is much more powerful than knowledge. That's what creative visualization is. We can see with our intuition, when we can see with our third eye, when we can imagine our life that can exist in multiple planes, right? And then we can bring things into existence. Now, what if that's what God intended? And now you're like the lighthouse. What's the purpose of a lighthouse? Goes out on the point when there's a storm, radiates its light, its saving light out of the ships that are out there, danger in the storm, so they find the direction into the safe harbor. Now let's look at this picture right here. The lighthouse, that's physical structure. That's you and your physical body. That light are your thoughts, words, and actions at a higher frequency in divine consciousness, in Christ's love and joy, in unconditional love and non judgment, and no longer self criticism, but in self love and the love of others, right? Two greatest commandments: love the Lord the God with all your heart, with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind. If you love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, you can only love other people. Love your neighbor as yourself. But guess what the key is? You got to love yourself first. But if you love God, then hopefully you love yourself. There's people that love God that they don't love themselves because they think God is outside me, but I'm not worthy. I was raised Catholic. That's what I was taught. You every Sunday before your communion, Lord, I am not worthy to receive you. Really? God created you in a likeness and image, and you're not worthy. And the people on here, well, this is what it really means. Look, what are you saying? You're speaking that into existence, right? Is that how God feels? You're not worthy. So that was a major contradiction. So now we take action. Now we have light. Now, when we illuminate, we have the message, we have thoughts, we have words, we speak into existence our divine thoughts, and then we act according to our divine thoughts. We shine that light. Then what happens? The clouds clear. That brings heaven to earth. The clouds clear. Like, look at those, look at all those clouds. That's the storm. That's the conditions of the world. That's all the stuff. How do you get above and beyond the conditions of the world? How do you surrender the conditions of the world? It's by shining your divine light. It's knowing that you were declared from the beginning, declared in the former things from the beginning, right? Then you were spoken into existence, and now here you are acting on this physical plane as a divine being, as God consciousness. The question is, can you get beyond your human interpretation of yourself and realize that you are the likeness and image of God? You are the light that can illuminate. Can we attach to that? Trust me, I work on this one every day. And so I read this verse this morning, and that was my interpretation. And hopefully, this interpretation helps you. And even if you're still listening all the way till now, then we're having a healed experience, which is a miraculous experience. We spend 2 days taking through the healed system. Man, help you feel your divine spirit, help to feel the love of God, how to experience it, how to let go of all your past and see the purpose. Come into presence, find that purpose and mission, why you are here in this life. Because then you will live the most fulfilling life. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it will be the most fulfilling because you will be the lighthouse that brings heaven to earth. Hey, if you want to do that, click on the link below, schedule an appointment, schedule a legacy call because we're here to create a legacy. And let's talk about your life. Let's talk about what you see. Let's talk about what you want to experience. And let's talk about how you can walk up that stairway to heaven. All right. Love you guys. Peace.